Hello there and welcome. Yes, this is every NG, and it is my pleasure to welcome you back from the public holidays. Yeah, we had an extended weekend, of course, because of Workers' Day that was during the weekend, and then we had to observe the public holiday yesterday. But then it's good to be back. I'm sure perhaps you have, had a little extra bit of rest for yourself, and it's back to work. Of course, back to Unplug, brought to you by every NG. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Victor. And as usual, Unplug brings you the latest updates from all across the board: entertainment, sports, politics, your favorite reality TV stars, your favorite celebrities, every single bit we talk about here on Unplug. Once again, you are welcome. But before we dive right into the meat of what we have for you today, I want to ask you a question. Of course, we always talk about how it is inappropriate for a man to beat a woman, maybe especially unprovoked or something like that. Of course, different people have varying opinions, but I think to a large extent, the consensus is that no man should lay his hands on a woman. But what do you think is appropriate punishment for a man who just unjustly beats up a woman? Let that marinate in your mind for a little bit. We'll get back to it much later on the show. But first of all, let's start with one of your favorite reality TV stars, and it is Natasha Akide, popularly known as Tacha. Now, of course, she made a name for herself on Big Brother Niger. Of course, she might argue with that a bit, but I don't want to go into the details of that. Of course, she is well known for being one of the most controversial housemates ever on Big Brother Niger. Well, she is going to be taking part in yet another reality TV show. This time, it is not a Nigerian one. Anyways, Natasha is being rumored to participate on yet another reality TV show. It's an international reality TV show, and it's not confirmed yet because Tasha herself has not said anything about it. But it seems to be some kind of strong rumor at the moment. But we're waiting for some kind of confirmation now. This reality show is MTV The Challenge. Yes, The Challenge by MTV. And it's quite a big one. According to what we're seeing, this particular page on Twitter tweeted Natasha as one of the participants at the rookie level. And we started gathering information here and there that rookies get paid as much as 400,000 per episode, 400,000 naira per episode, and whatnot. Now, this particular page that tweeted it actually prides itself as the official spoiler for this particular TV show. Like, they always seem to have all the details even before anything is confirmed. So maybe, just maybe, we're going to be seeing Tacha on that particular show, and it's definitely one to look out for, both for her fans and for the neutrals. Now let's talk about Davido. Davido, of course, has been constantly in the news. The issue with Chioma and their separation, or not, maybe not. But of course, Chioma celebrated her birthday not too long ago, and even the birthday wish that Davido sent to her was also an issue for controversy. But Davido has said something else again that is raising eyebrows, I beg your pardon, and raising a lot of dust as well. The son he has with Chioma, named Ifeanyi, Davido has declared the heir apparent, and he, posted this on the social media. He called Ifeanyi heir apparent. Well, of course, that got Nigerian people talking, as always, and people are saying, "Oh, wow, this is not your first child, by the way. You have like two other children, two girls, Imade and Haley. So what is happening? Why does the last child have to be the heir apparent? Is it because the other two are girls, or what is going on?" Now, one of his previous baby mama, Sophia Momodu, has actually reacted to this as well, and it was just what I would call a rant, maybe a provoked rant, because she felt threatened by the fact that the Davido would call another child that was born after hers the heir apparent. And she was saying things like, well, she just maintains or whatever, she's on her own. I'm not going to use the word she used. She doesn't care. She's a boss of her own and whatnot. I'm like, okay, this was probably completely unnecessary, but maybe she has a point because it's actually what some Nigerians are saying. Well, I'm not part of the family. I'm not the one who's going to make any decisions for them. I'm not going to make any decisions for Davido himself, but we'll see what happens as time goes on. Now, to more hearty and cheery news, Alex Ekubo, popular Nigerian actor, has gotten engaged to his longtime girlfriend. And her name is Fancy. She is a model. And we got to know during the proposal that they have been together for about 5 years because Alex Kubo himself said it. And you can see this really beautiful video where he went on his knee and, surprised her actually. According to what Fancy posted, she said she was thinking she was going for a photo shoot and then she just got the biggest surprise of her life. And there Alex was on his knee and there was a ring in his hand. Will you marry me? Well, she said yes. And there you have it. Hashtag Falex. We do not know when the wedding is going to be, but it's good to see that wedding bells are actually ringing somewhere in the distance. Congratulations to Alex. Congratulations to Fancy. Still talking really hearty and cheery news. Mr. Macaroni turned 28 years old yesterday and he decided that he was going to go out there, the streets of Lagos, and put smiles on the faces of 28 different people. And boy, did he really put smiles on people's faces. I mean, he and his team stepped out and handed cash to people. Yes, wads of cash. He just brought them out and gave this cash to people. I remember in the video, he asked a couple of people, how much do you sell this? One of them says it's 300 naira and he says, okay, we're going to buy it for 30,000 naira. And I'm like, okay. And he doesn't even take that particular good, he just leaves it with them, but he pays for it. He even stopped a commercial bus. Oh, he didn't actually stop the bus, but when the bus stopped close to where he was, he gave every single person in the bus money, cash. And a lot of these people, of course, were very excited and they not only showered him with encomiums, but they also prayed for him. And it was really good to see Mr. Macaroni do something, this benevolent, this generous. Congratulations. Happy birthday once again to Mr. Macaroni. Now let's talk something a bit more serious on the national front. And the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, conducted a series of raids in different cities, and it was quite shocking to know what these people discovered. Now, in Plateau State, they raided some restaurants, and they found out that some of these restaurant operators actually infuse cannabis and some other drugs into the meals, the food, the cakes that they serve to people. And of course, they were apprehended and arrested, and they are definitely going to go through trial and prosecuted for that. In Enugu State, they also conducted successful raids as well and apprehended people in possession of cannabis and cocaine. And in Akure, Federal University of Technology, this particular guy was apprehended who sells hard drugs to students and conceals them in textbooks. He was apprehended as well, and it just shows that there is this very serious culture of hard drug use in Nigeria, and the NDLEA is doing all they can to combat it and ensure that it comes to an end. So good work there by that particular agency. And of course, you remember Greenfield University and the students that were kidnapped some time ago. 55 million naira was raised and paid to these bandits to try to negotiate the release of these people. And they have already killed 3 of them. Very sad and very unfortunate. And the bandits have now given the federal government an ultimatum to pay 100 million naira. That is completely aside the 55 million naira that they have already received. Now, according to the bandits, they have used that 55 million naira to feed their hostages. That's what they said. And so they want 100 million naira, or they're going to kill the rest of them, about 17 of them, by 12 midnight, Wednesday. Now, we're not hearing anything. The governor of Kaduna State has said he's not negotiating with them. We're not hearing anything from the presidency. We do not know what is going on, and the clock keeps ticking. Is this how these people are going to be left at the mercy of these bandits, knowing fully well that they already killed a number of them? Well, let's see. Maybe before the end of today, who knows what might happen. But that is a situation that we're monitoring very closely and will definitely keep you updated. Now, I asked you a question at the beginning of the show. I asked you, what do you think would be the appropriate punishment for a man who, just beats up a woman, maybe provoked, maybe unprovoked, or whatnot? But what do you think is appropriate punishment for such a person? Now, something interesting happened in Anambra State. There are different versions of this story flying around, about three different versions, and bottom line is this young man was seen beating up a woman. Not just gentleman's beating, but he beat her to a pulp. Now, people are saying, or one group of people are saying that two women were fighting. One of them happens to be the young man's mother. So what he did was step into the fight and attack the woman who was, fighting with his mom and beat her up. Now, another person is saying, or another group of people are saying, the woman he was beating was actually his own mom. Then there's yet another group of people who say it was his stepmom. He was beating up his stepmom, and the stepmom was fighting his mom and all of that. But those are the three versions of the story. But bottom line is he beat up this woman mercilessly. Now the youth of the village came together and probably had a meeting or something, and they rounded him up, and he was tied to a tree. Yes, he was tied to a tree, and according to what we heard, he was given 100 strokes. Now, if you saw the video, you would know that it was not 100 gentleman strokes. He was flogged mercilessly. You could see the welts and wounds on his back as he was being seriously battered there. And he was begging. But to the youth, that was appropriate punishment for him. Do you think that was appropriate? What do you think about this entire situation? Let me know in the comment section below. All right. Now let's talk Chidinma Ekile. Of course, you remember Chidinma. You didn't make my heart go KDK. Yes. Now you will not be hearing any more of such songs from Chidinma because she has quit secular music and she is now a full-time self-declared gospel singer. She no longer does secular music. You're not going to be seeing her with the likes of Flavor anymore, or with the likes of Wizkid, but maybe with the likes of Mercy Chinwo and the rest of them because she's now a gospel artist. And she explained the reason for this. She said she had some time to spend with God, and God told her a number of things, and basically God welcomed her back home. She said people might not understand, but she knows that now she's going into full-time ministry. This is what God really wants her to do, and she's back in the faith. Like, okay. Either ways, I'm going to listen to Chidinma's music. I think she has an amazing voice, and I'll listen to her gospel or anywhere else. So, wish Chidinma all the best for the future. Now, on the foreign scene, Bill Gates and Melinda Gates have been married for the past 27 years, but yesterday, quite surprisingly, they put out a statement that they are getting a divorce. Yes, they're ending their marriage after 27 years. Opens up, so many different perspectives. But bottom line is, they said they have given a lot of thoughts to this, and they have actually put a lot of work into their relationship. But they feel this is the best thing for them to do right now. Of course, they have both run the Bill and the Melinda Gates Foundation for a long time now, and they very likely have put a lot of thoughts into that as well. And I don't think that one is going to die, but time will tell what exactly happens. But there you have it. After 27 years of marriage, Bill and Melinda Gates are splitting up. Wish them the best in their newfound life. Okay, now let's talk sports. And Tyson Fury has made a very bold claim ahead of the big showdown with Anthony Joshua. Now, he said if Anthony Joshua can make it past 2 rounds, then he's going to quit. I don't know whether he meant he's going to quit that particular fight or he's going to quit boxing completely, but he said if Anthony Joshua can make it past 2 rounds of their bouts, he's going to quit. From today, please hold Tyson Fury by his words because we're looking forward to that particular fight before the end of this year. Okay, and finally, to wrap things up, later tonight we're going to be seeing the second leg of the UEFA Champions League semi-final between Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain. Now, Manchester City have the advantage after beating PSG in France 2-1. So maybe not. PSG still have a foothold in the game with their goal, but we'll see what happens tonight. We'll give you the results tomorrow, of course. And that is all we have for today on Unplug. Thank you so much for joining. As always, don't forget this is every NG. And my name is Victor. Until next time, goodbye.